Every now and then I realise I reach this limit, whether it's overwhelm, exhaustion, a bit of anxiety or low mood, or just my brain being all fuddled and weird and I can't think straight and I can't do things. And I know I need a reset. And what I do is I create myself a space, a whole day if I can do it. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes it's just an hour here or there. But I'm going to show you how I do a full reset, replenish, sacred day to fill up my cup and sort my head out and just let myself rest. So I'm going to prepare for this one in a really deluxe way. So please know this is my luxury version. I'm actually making myself some soup. I'm going to create some really nice provisions for me to have during this day of absolute deep rest. Now, this is kind of part of my wind down. So this is something that on this particular day, I'm finding quite therapeutic. But there will be lots of other times when I know I need that reset and I do not have it in me to make soup or anything like that. So I will be winding my way up to that restful place with a chocolate bar and a packet of crisps and a piece of toast. So it just so happens that on this day, I really felt like I wanted deep nourishment and all the good stuff for my body. And I actually had the motivation to do it. And I think maybe I'm getting better at catching myself before I've reached complete burnout and treating myself to these periods of rest. Also, without feeling guilty. It used to be something I would try to make space for, and then something else would come along and fill it. Almost felt like it was out of my control. But now that I'm getting better at setting boundaries and I'm realising just how essential it is that I take this time to do nothing but anything I fancy doing, anything that just relaxes my brain, gives me that headspace. Now that I know that I can do that, and that it actually is productive for me to do that, and that we all need to do that, that it's not being lazy, and it's not that we should get everything done first before we take this time for ourselves. Now the permission is there, it seems to actually be effective. So on this particular day, I've set myself basically the whole school day. So I am getting everything ready, and then I know once I've dropped the kids off and I come home, that 6-hour window is going to be completely mine. So I'm thinking about all the things I'm going to take with me and all the things I might feel like doing, but there are no things that I have to do or I should do. So here it is. This is my little docking station. And yes, this is just literally my bed. And I'm picking out the things that I need. So my little snuggly in case I get cold, going to put that there ready. And then other things that I might like, and you might like different things, but I've got my journal, I've got a couple of books that I'm reading, and I'm just putting stuff there, putting my computer. You may have completely different things that you need. It might be Netflix and scrolling, and that's totally fine. For me, I just know that I love to turn down the bed, get my charger ready, and know that I can do whatever I want. So setting that scene, and then I'm going to go get more supplies. So again, I've got the energy, I can be bothered, I feel the urge, I'm going to make a smoothie. This is not something I do all the time. I have got a ready done smoothie and I'm adding to it this mushroom powder that I found that's called Renewal. It's a really nice mushroom blend and I found that it does help me with my energy levels. It's quite good for concentration. It seems to be good for hormone regulation, and I do just take it when I remember. I'm sure it would do me great good if I could remember to take it every day. But as I'm on a roll, I'm going to put in some protein powder. This will probably set me up quite well. So this is the one that I use. And again, I go through phases of being great with all of this and other stages where I am not good and I'm living on toast. But here we go. Some flaxseed. Why not? Let's go all out. As I said, this is the deluxe reset day. And I am determined to have really delicious, lovely provisions and supplies. So I will whiz all of that up. And the other thing that I'm thinking that I'm going to be making today is I'm going to make some cacao. So once I've got my smoothie ready, and my soup is basically there and done. I'm going to move on to cacao, which again, you could do this with a cup of tea. It really doesn't matter at all, but I'm going to I feel like taking this time. So I'm going to get some oat milk and start heating it up. And cacao can be very ceremonious. And so I'm doing it this way because it slows my brain down. It makes me just quiet the mind a little bit. These are the cacao chunks that I use, but honestly, they're all great. It's directly from Peru. It's right from the earth. It's raw cacao, so it's like really wholesome, earthy hot chocolate. And I just crumble a bit into the milk and just gently heat it up. And as I say, it's supposed to be something that you do ceremoniously. So you really take a moment to be thinking about where that came from, the fact that the earth is so abundant and it provides so much for us. And because it's such a very rich drink, and you can enjoy the smells and the taste and the process of creating it, I actually also do some little infinity signs when I'm stirring it, because I'm just weird like that, and I love to think of the energy that I'm putting into something that is then going to come into my body. So I sometimes put little Reiki symbols in, and again, I'm just a special kind of weird, and I'm embracing it. But it makes me happy, and it slows down my head, and it helps my body to catch up with wherever my headspace is at and kind of unite the two. So these are mindful tasks. They just bring me back to myself. So this is part of my reset today. And this is just the way that it happens to look today. I don't think that we do this enough. I think we wait until it's really bad and then we let ourselves take a break, but it's not considered productive, is it, to do these things? But I realise that I'm not productive unless I do these things. And I can promise you that my house needs cleaning. There's piles of laundry at the end of my bed. But I just know for me, and this is not for everybody, for me, I have to do this rest and reset first, and then I will get to all of those things. It's just the way that I've learned that I need to do things. And that's what I think is so important, is that we learn how we each work and what we all need as individuals, and making sure that we put that in for ourselves. So it is that self-connection. Oh, here's Wilf. He totally knows about these reset days, so he's ready to crack on and get snuggled in for the day. So yeah, always nice to have a companion. I have put my soup in this little thermos. I've thought of everything. So I've got nice hot soup as soon as I am ready for it. And now I'm parking myself in my little docking station, and here I am holding that cacao, and just the smell of it I associate with that self-connection, that moment to myself, that I've made time, I've made room, and I'm just going to sit here and breathe and obviously stroke the cat. The other one probably won't come in if he's in here, sadly. I can dream. But yes, I'm just going to sit here, and there's something about slowing down, taking in the different aspects of the senses. So the taste and the smell and the touch, all of which are bringing me back to my nervous system, are giving me signals that it's okay, you're going to rest now. This is your time to recharge and recalibrate. And I just let my brain go wherever it wants to go, because I'm almost too overstimulated to get too far into a meditation. This is a really nice way to wind myself down and kind of let my brain find its track alongside my physical body and let the two meet. Now, yesterday I was really aware that it took me hours to realise that my feet were freezing cold because they were a little bit wet on my socks, and I was so busy-headed I hadn't noticed, and this was adding to me just feeling uncomfortable and annoyed. So I knew then I really need this reset day. I was so glad that I booked it in. And that's the other thing, is starting to learn about putting them in preemptively, not always just reacting to that burnout or that agitation or that low mood. But whatever it is, when we sit with it, it just makes such a huge difference. And this is a time when there is permission for whatever I want to do. So I may do some journaling. I might find that I want to dip in and out of books. I might watch a film. It's just whatever I feel most drawn to. And this is a bed reset day. I've had other reset days where I've gone to the woods or I've gone to the sea. It's just time on your own to get used to being in your own company, connecting to anything that your brain and body are asking you that they need. And I can just feel myself getting happier and more relaxed and more at peace. This brings me into my intuition more, which I really need for my job. And when I do this and I give myself complete permission, it is really productive and it totally works. It gets me into a new space. It gives me inspiration. It makes me a better therapist. It makes me a better wife, a better friend, a better mum, all the things. And I love this new way of treating exhaustion and getting excited about the fact that means I'm going to get to have a day like this, rather than feeling guilty or trying to wangle it some other way or waiting till you have a cold so that you can tell people that you're ill. This is another thing I do. I will sit and just close my eyes and ask my body, what could you do with me just taking a bit of time on? Maybe a head rub, maybe just massaging around my neck or my shoulders. And again, these are all signals to the muscles and the nervous system. I'm here, I'm listening, tell me what you need. And again, sometimes you actually just need to go and move. But on this day, I just didn't want to move. I was not in that place. I really just wanted to sit. And if you do Reiki or anything like that, you can give yourself a little mini treatment if you like. But it doesn't matter if you don't. You can still put your hands on your head or wherever you want them and just sit and breathe. It is so underrated, so powerful. And I hope that watching this gives you your permission and reminds you that it's okay, that we do need to do this, that there are two sides to everything. There should be balance, productivity and rest. Just as there is night, just as there is day, we need to factor these things in 50-50 if we really want to tap into thriving. So I'd love it if you shared the way that you reset or the way that you recharge, and please give yourself permission. Do it for yourself.